$20 billion to harden these facilities. Do you have any information on who they think might be behind the attack in California on those transformers, or who would the shootout with the police by that nuclear power plant that just happened a few weeks ago? I mean, there is more and more weird stuff going on.
Yeah, well, it had to be, it's homegrown terrorism, whether it's a defined group or whether it was, well, in this case, there were a group of people. They found enough casing to suggest that there was more than one person involved in this. It could be a trial run. Now, this happened a day after, as I recall, it happened a day after the Boston Marathon bombing. And there are a lot of Chechens in that area. So is there a connection? The FBI has supposedly been looking at these kinds of things. Was it a test run for something larger? It's quite conceivable. The fact that they're using AK-47s is indicative of someone who had to be familiar with that firearm and knows its capabilities. And also, it could have been something as simple as an inside job, because simply because the transformers they knew precisely where the lines were, the fiber optic lines leading into the substation in San Jose, and they knew precisely where the 17 other transformers that were knocked out were located and knew precisely where to hit them. So there's something to that that cannot be overlooked. But you're not hearing anything from our law enforcement authorities who are supposed to be investigating this thing. I think simply because they don't want to scare anybody. They don't. If it was a foreign activity, could it have been a cartel? I don't know.
Sure, and they don't want any foreign. I was about to say cartels is who I would think, because that's a real group that's actually kills police all over Mexico, and now they've been having some setbacks. So you've seen them try to sabotage the police station in L.A. That's a whole nother issue. Do you expect that drug war, that hot war in Mexico, to really pour across our border?
Oh, it already has. It easily could, because the drug cartels have been able to get into some of our largest metropolitan areas. I live in Reston, Virginia, and we have MS-13 right here, right across the way in Herndon, Virginia, and this is right outside the nation's capital. So they're
unbelievable.
They're in the big cities for sure, and certainly down along the border areas. And I think there was an episode recently where there was a major firefight using 50 caliber machine guns, hand grenades, and our border patrol people had to basically shut down the border because out of concern that it was going to be overflowing into it was in Arizona, that it was going to be overflowing into Arizona itself.
The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding, making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
The brainwashing media machine has been turned up on high, and it's time for humanity to double down on the true people's media and strike back against the tyrants that are destroying our civilization with their lies and fraud. We are the resistance. You are the resistance. You are the info war. It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv.